Get to the point that we can't stand someone from the fellow tribe. We already have misconceptions about the Igbo man. We already have perceptions about the Yoruba man or the Hausa man. Or maybe they'll say, Omo Igbo, Omo Yoruba.
So these are different tribes with different belief systems, with different culture that came together. I don't think they came together. Some force they were put together by force against their own will. Now carry the same passport. It'll take a while to first agree that I like it.
Lagos, in my opinion, is the reason for the extreme level of tribalism and bigotry in this country.
This same Lagos they are trying to demonize the Igbos has had two Igbo governors. Lieutenant Commander and Physical Commander Ibutu.
So you hear even amongst Yoruba people, it's Ijebu, don't go and marry Ijebu. This is from a Oyo person to an Ijebu person. Says, don't bring Ijebu to my house, or don't go and marry Ijebu. By default, we think that way. How then does it get to where we are now? Politics. So I want to keep this position. I want to make this money. And then they whip up these sentiments. The sentiments were there, dormant, passive. Why would you say don't marry an Ijebu person? Are Ijebu people not human beings? Greed and politics starts whipping up these sentiments. That you have people aggressively pushing forward these narratives. And then we hear things like Igbos are, Yorubas are, Malas. How many people died in that? But you hear 4 people and 1 Mala. No, really, and Mala is not pushing people.
Welcome to the Resurgence Podcast.
Hi everyone, my name is Oli. I'm pleased to be on the Resurgence Podcast today. And here with me I have Damola, Reynard, Hilda, and Draco. You're welcome to the Resurgence Podcast.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be here.
How are you all doing today?
Great.
Really good.
Hilda, how are you doing today?
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I thought you guys would ask me how I'm doing today.
How are you doing?
How are you? Okay. I guess I'm fine. Alright, so in recent times, there's been these conversations around, I'm Igbo, I'm Yoruba, I'm Hausa, I'm from a particular tribe, which has stemmed to tribalism. So there's this thing on Twitter they call Tribalism Thursday. Initially, it's like bands, but when you look deep into it, you know that there's a deep-rooted thing, tribalism in quotes. So when Ekweremadu was convicted of organ transplanting, organ harvesting, or something like that, Igbo people were dragging him on Twitter, and then somebody goes, "Oh, you see the way Igbo people are dragging him now? He's Igbo, but they don't support what is Igbo, they will call it out. But if it's a Yoruba man now, they'll stand with their people, and then it turn into, Yoruba is this, Igbo is this, Hausa is this." And then it went on that it's now a weekly thing on social media. And I keep on thinking, how did we get here? How did we get to the point that we can't stand someone from the fellow tribe? We already have misconceptions about the Igbo man. We already have perceptions about the Yoruba man or the Hausa man. Or maybe they'll say, Omo Igbo, Omo Yoruba. So how did we get here actually?
Before Nigeria became Nigeria, I think we'll start from there, right? Okay. We had kingdoms. Bini Kingdom, Oyo Kingdom, the Hausa Caliphate, the central government. So we had this system, exactly. Now I don't know the complete history, because now I've heard multiple versions of this history. I've picked up a few things. I've heard the history of the one where the longest wall in the world was in Edo State, not the Great Wall of China. It was 3 times longer than China. I've seen history of, we used to have technology in Africa. The Benin Kingdom, the Oyo Kingdom, these people have. So these are different tribes with different belief systems, different culture that came together. I don't think they came together. Some force
They were put
they were put together by force against their own will. Now carry the same passport. It'll take a while to first agree that I like you before we now agree to create a system that will accommodate our individuality. I'm saying individuality as a people. You understand? So it will take a while. Maybe it will take a few more generations, but already we are better off than the previous generation, like our grandparents. In church, we hear the grandparents age people still talk about in Yoruba land, but my mate Yoruba, before you hear Yoruba land, it's a long while. You understand? So it's really fading off, or it's evolving into where we are accepting each other, right? And that is from my own perspective. Now, is there tribalism? Yes, there is. Many times when I greet some people, like when I take Uber, sometimes I greet the guy in Yoruba language. There's some ease with conversation. The Hausa guy, when I say Yani, the guy, there's some ease. Can I Hausa? He starts telling me if I can speak Hausa, there's some ease. So on the mental level, I think there's still that there. But weaponizing it to destroy the people, I don't want to go into that conversation because I know that they will have better views.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, what I'm gonna say today might be very, very controversial. And I'll tell you, amongst all of us here, I'm one of the few people who was able to extend that love. My wife is Yoruba, 17 years, I'm Igbo, proudly Igbo. I also appreciate Yoruba culture very much, and I'm also heavily influenced by it.
You speak Yoruba very well.
Yeah.
Tribalism starts in the home. Not only there, Machibudi. Indoctrination starts from the home. I thank my father so much in the sense that we don't talk about tribe in his house. My other sister is married to my two younger sisters are married to non-Igbos. My other brother had his only child with a Fulani woman. I'm married to a Yoruba woman. That'll show you kind of house. I grew up in Sule, another in the close, Falolu Street. And today, when I see anybody who tries to be tribalistic, the failure of parenting, the black man has a problem. What he doesn't understand is he tries to destroy. That is the black man's DNA from Egypt to South Africa. What is the problem? The world itself is a competitive space. If a Yoruba man betters the Igbo man in that competitive space, he will tell his children that man used to do. If an Igbo man betters the Yoruba man in that public space, Igbo here on their call. Come, it starts from the home. You know what I'm saying? I was in a bus one day, that was before Ambode's election. And the Yoruba boy near me saw Ambode's poster, vote for me. He was wearing Ishiago. And the boy said, did you go for him? I don't vote for him. I said, why? Because he's Igbo. But I moved on that same way. Now somebody wearing Abeda. You're not Igbo for. Was the same person in different clothes. Failure of parents. He doesn't even know the issues. Nigeria always gets polarized along ethnic lines when elections beckons. The first coup started with the restlessness in the western region called Operation Wet Team. Some overzealous officers, mostly from the Igbos, did that coup and became what it became. In the past two elections in Lagos, because the so-called hegemonic power in Lagos, the group of the ethnic. There's a threat now, August 30th. People should be. But I can bet my life, the average negotiator, the Yoruba man doesn't even know everything at the Igbo man. The Yoruba man. One Igbo man.
Everybody's on way.
Yes. So, God forbid, if the one that happens in Lagos, it will be what they call collateral damage. I will beg Nigerians, Nigeria is a beautiful country. Very beautiful country. I schooled everywhere in Nigeria. So I know Nigeria very well. Tribalism starts in the home. To not 254 ethnic groups. Till today, we don't have a Nigerian look. In Brazil, go to Brazil today, 60% of them, we don't know whether they are white or black or Indian. They have had political relations. They're trying to form their own.
That's what kind of relationship?
Relations. They are bringing up the Brazilian look. What their national team? Is he black? No, is he white? It's happened because they've had unfettered access to each other.
Or
When a politician loses space in the political space, it comes back to whip up ethnic sentiment. Another thing again that whips up ethnic is tribalism, is poverty.
yeah.
Poverty is a very potent factor to
It's
bring
a
out
good
the
point.
beast man. A hungry man is an angry man. I'm in a joint having issue with my girlfriend and I'm drinking my beer. Come and tell me that if I need to worry about that, you go and sit down. I'm enjoying myself. What's my doing that? When I'm jobless, I'm not eating to arouse that. But tribalism is most times exacerbated by our politicians. Go to say Oringo now, take a bus to Ushu. Out of 10 buses that come, you see the real color of Lagos. Either the conductor is Igbo or the driver is Yoruba. And they're working harmoniously.
So
They're working, you know why? They both have the same need.
Mr. Damola, you have
Yeah.
something to say.
Yeah, please.
So, at home or not, black people are generally tribalistic by default. I'll give an example.
Prejudice.
I'll give an example. Prejudiced. That's what
Because you
brings
can't call
tribalism
South
to the
Africans tribalistic.
Oh, hold on, you can, but hold on. It's passive tribalism and active tribalism. So you hear even amongst Yoruba people, is Ijebu, don't go and marry Ijebu. This is from a Oyo person to an Ijebu person. Says, don't bring Ijebu to my house, or don't go and marry Ijebu. By default, we think that way. You hear Oshobo men, they are lazy, don't go and marry Oshobo men. No. Even amongst Yoruba tribes, you hear this about this person and this about this. Same tribe but different localities. It is part of us. Sub-ethnic groups. It is part of us. Passive, that's what I call passive tribalism. That actually it's based on domestic differences and such things. It does not transcend into violence, does not transcend into bigotry, etc. How then does it get to where we are now? Greed. Politics. Okay? So I want to keep this position. I want to make this money. And then they whip up these sentiments.
Yeah.
The sentiments were there, dormant, passive. Maybe not the best, because why would you say don't marry an Ijebu person? Are Ijebu people not human beings? True, I agree to an extent. But having said that, it's just passive, domestic, doesn't go beyond that. But it's not until greed and politics starts whipping up these sentiments that you have people aggressively pushing forward these narratives. And then you hear things like Igbos are, Yorubas are, Malas. How many people died in that? Because you hear 4 people and 1 Mala. No, really, and Malam is not people. You understand? And that's, while I just describe the situation, not necessarily how we got here, but how did we get here? Have you noticed that societies that are monogeneous tend to move forward better than societies that are heterogeneous? Okay, because even as individuals in the same tribe, we're quite different. An Ondo person is different from an Oyo person, different from an Egba, different from an Ijebu. How much more when you now bring an Igbo person and bring a Yoruba person? Very different in their mindsets. And we also have this, is my person, is your. Lagos, in my opinion, is the reason for the extreme level of tribalism and bigotry in this country.
There is a major factor. History is forgotten. The same Lagos today that is a subject of controversy. Many Igbo men represented Lagos in the Legislative Assembly. Bono Chike, Dr. Benjamin Namdi, Asekime, K.O. Many of them won the elections. Lagos Island people voted for them. This same Lagos they are trying to demonize the Igbos has had 2 Igbo governors. Lieutenant Commander Ndubisi Kano, Commander Ibitu Ukiwe.
Not democratically.
No problem. Militarily
That were imposed on.
No problem.
Let's
They were here. Wait, I'm coming. And Lagosians never rose against them. Or Shiwadada.
Even Buba Mara from the
I'm coming. Or Shiwadada. In fact, Ukiwa and Nnamdi Kanu were one of they are among the governors Yoruba loved the most who are survived in Lagos under the military government. The present disdain, uproar. There's a hegemonic force that took over Lagos in 1999, and they are quite negative-minded in the sense that they are collectors, they are not harmonizers. Jakonde built Lagos State. I attended the Jakonde primary school, but a primary school in Surrey, near St. Anthony's Catholic Church. When they shared uniforms for us and textbooks, nobody asked me where you're from.
Sure.
I benefited, and my father was not poor. The schools were standard. So when I now see the so-called political tendency today, who were at the state level and at the national level today, I ask myself, in their bid to within power, they will destroy Lagos. I'm coming. There's a late Kenyan professor, Ali Mamazri, is dead. He did a documentary on Lagos in 1991. Go and watch that documentary. You see what multi-ethnicity can lead to development.
Yeah.
You see that Lagos ethnic group thrives very well. Go outside, come into this room now. If all of us are wearing white, to look dull. That's why I don't wear ashrafi. Rainbow is a beautiful color. What built I'm coming with. I'm coming. What built the US today?
Okay, but you know, draft.
I'm coming with that. I'm trying to cover that is monogeneous thing. America will not have been what it is if they had restricted immigrants to come in.
Or it would have.
No, the Italians.
The foundation was not built by the founding fathers of America to now make a solid foundation for them to build.
I'm coming with the most advanced societies in the world today. None of them is homogeneous.
Okay, I want to ask you again.
For example,
wait, the UK now
one
is
example.
experiencing the same upheaval. The US, the mayor of London is Pakistani, Sadiq Khan, the former one.
And are those the individuals who built the UK?
Listen to me.
No, but they are
Excuse
revolting
me.
because of
Excuse me.
this
There's something I will tell you.
Asian.
In the southeast where I come from, Onitsha indigene can never produce until local government chairman. God forgive me. They have allowed strangers to come. Just as bought land, just as more in numbers than them. It will show in the voting pattern. If you don't want to sell land, don't sell land. But there are implications of selling land.
In hindsight.
Now
it's clear.
What is happening in Lagos has happened in the East long ago. In Aba's local governments, Aba North, Aba South, the people that own Aba are called Nwa people. Nwa cannot produce local government of the two. Because they have sold their land to strangers. My father's all his investments are in Aba. Houses. And all local government that in Chairman, both North and South local government are from outside. There are implications. If you want to keep your society homogeneous, don't sell land. But if you have a need, you sell land. I sell it on a regular basis. It will show your electoral pattern. What the Yorubas, they are trying to eat their cake and have it. Sorry, the politicians in Lagos. What the woman is trying to achieve, I won't say what they are trying to achieve. The so-called influence they have in Lagos, they don't have it in Oyo or Udo. Maybe the Udo people have refused to sell land to them. But the people have to sell. But the average negotiator is a man of very high taste. He wants his daughters wanted to be the biggest.
So you sell his property for a wedding?
Or is it because Lagos is the commercial capital of Nigeria?
No,
and people tend to grab
that money was made in Port next door.
That is how a typical woman would think. You think every decision is driven by commerce.
No. The most beautiful building in here today is owned by the woman next door. You know that money you invest 1 naira.
So this conversation.
Because he's afraid of them seeing his property.
This conversation now
That's true.
brings.
And an Igbo man, I'm telling you what I would think.
I understand that. It's why I say.
So now, excuse me. So if Lagos is benefiting from this so-called not investing in Port.
There is port in Mori.
Yes.
Why is it not functional? In Sapele, no functional ports. The Nigerian Navy, they are packed there. They are training.
And there's a training base in Sapele. I know.
Sapele used to be like Like
a major port
a
city.
major port city.
Yes, before the war.
Before Warri, there was Sapele.
Yes.
You go to Sapele, thank you. Before you go to Sapele, you hear a place called Hausa Quarters.
Yes.
Yoruba Road.
Yes.
So why is that place not functional? Why don't we have mini ports? Why is everything here?
No, let me
You're on is not tribalism.
It is.
No, she's having to relate tribalism to government policy.
Government policies.
Okay.
Because you rivalry, you want your tribe to be superior, and you sabotage other tribes. And it's true.
At the risk, at the expense of the economy.
It's called
I'm going to protest what you said. Excuse me. Wait.
Sorry. Do you know what I will
That's sabotage, not tribalism.
What is the essence? What is the base of the negative intention of tribalism? It's to sabotage the next tribe.
Yes.
So I can be seen as the
It's to get something at the expense of another tribe.
Or to rival.
No, excuse me. Now, excuse me.
That's ethnic rivalry.
Not necessarily.
What I'm going to say now is it's going to be a very, very controversial one. The Civil War was fought. Only 2 people knew what they fought for. The Yorubas and the North. The North wanted hegemonic political power. The Yorubas wanted economic power. Because they assumed the Igbos used their influence because they dominated the government before the war to have economic power. Unfortunately for the Deltas and the
South
people, they fought out of hatred, not knowing the benefit what was.
Out of hatred for who?
Wait, I'm coming with.
The South.
I'm coming.
Yes.
See.
Hatred for the Igbos.
Yes.
Listen to me.
Right.
Your forefathers, not you. I'm coming. People are wiser today.
So my daddy told me a story that his grandmother even said she was riding on bicycle and all that. An Igbo man that was posted to their place, Ajigwembo. I don't know what he was posted for. Was intimidating a woman.
Yeah.
And they gathered him.
You people had that reputation.
Just
I won't lie.
because
In the South.
Even in the North, they had that reputation.
even in the north,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
that time in the
We were
west.
not excluding the Southwest.
Wait, I'm coming. See.
No,
I agree with that, but excluding the Southwest.
Wait,
What he's trying to make is why
Listen to me.
there was hatred for the Igbos.
Yes, it happened.
I agree with
The
that.
Igbo man doesn't know.
So I just wanted to
Because he
protest
comes
what
from
he
a society that was free.
Yeah.
When he gets absolute power, he normally abuses it.
Mhm.
Or he's not used to it. I mean, I'm telling you,
Yes.
see, I'm not here to paint anybody blue or black. I'm telling you the way it is. So now, when that opportunity came, the South people fought out of adult people to dominate.
To dominate.
I don't want to know exactly what he was fighting for. Before the war, all these ports were active. After the war, all those ports died.
Yes.
They had to kill those ports to make tin can. If you know that,
This is part of
if you know the cost it takes to dredge tin can and Apapa port every year for ships to come, and those ports don't require dredging, you understand the nonsense happening in
Nigeria.
I'll tell you another thing that happened again recently, about 5-6 years ago. Asaba Airport was built. The traffic in Benin Airport dropped. The Oba building then, Omonoba Derejiwa, was a PAMSEC in the cabinet office. His name was Prince Solomon Akenzwa. He was one that took go on not to honor that Aburi Accord. So when the report came to him that the traffic in Benin Airport had died, he used his connections. I have people to retain Nigeria. Why must you kill my airport? They have to say that Asaba had runway problems. How do I know that he was the one? When he died, the information that without him, Nigeria would have broken up. He was the person that took on to not implement the Aburi Accord. That is, see, in war, they are victors, they are vanquished. Those who have victory, enjoy it. But however, enjoy it in a sustainable manner. Because now the South man is seeing water around him and no ship is coming.
It's coming.
The same way the North did what they did now, and they are now going after the elite. It will happen. Nature abhors a vacuum.
Awolowo said something that the Northerners, they do not have anything in common with the South. Now, do you know why he said that? It was because of politics at that time. Everything they were doing down here, the Northerners were in opposition to it, right?
Yeah.
The Northerners tilted to the colonial powers That's why I asked a question. What is the root of tribalism in Nigeria? And we can trace it to colonial power.
Yes.
And now we can trace it to politicians.
No,
Politicians weaponize it.
And the major would have
Yeah, the
promoted.
major.
The white man didn't promote it, the politicians.
So just like he was saying about the Civil War, some people did not know why they were fighting.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know why they're fighting.
And that is
Just
what
like,
happened.
I don't like Igbos.
Yes.
I'll fight.
That was
Finish.
happening in most
Finish.
homes. So that's why I like his point that it starts with the home. People that they had show prejudice to one another. I don't like this tribe. I don't want this. I do not want that. They do not even know why.
Yeah, they don't know.
It's just
The one that was in the house, yes.
Okay, look at the last election in Lagos State.
GRV.
Yes, a Yoruba man.
True about men.
So you heard Southwesterners saying that
He's an Igbo guy.
he's an Igbo guy. What's it?
For the
Rose
kind of politics,
Rose
you
Vine.
pass that on a particular
Like from a prestigious family
family.
So
of Lagos.
everything was saying is
You know,
It was very getting
so far for me,
It
it's
should not be encouraged.
politicians.
as much as
Politicians are the ones
dirty economy.
fueling
Was dirty
tribalism
politics at
in
the center.
Nigeria.
just a
But
minute, as much as I agree
should.
with one, tribalism should be encouraged.
Mhm.
Politicians fuel tribalism.
They do.
Yes, I agree with all of that.
Mhm.
GRV being Yoruba or Igbo wasn't, for some of us,
Mhm.
really the challenge. The issue is this: I'm not political. I don't have any leaning with any political party. Yeah. However, it is obvious. It has been obvious even from the day of what's this other guy who was contesting against both Tinubu and Ambode back in the day.
Jimmy Agbaje.
Jimmy Agbaje. Now, PDP, who is the main opposition to APC in Lagos,
Supposed
is,
to be the main opposition.
well, is essentially a Igbo party. I mean
Why?
in the southwest. I mean in the south rather.
Why?
What
In
do
the
you
south.
think is?
I'm going somewhere. I'm not trying to prove any points.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
traditionally,
Mhm.
in the south, I'm not north and south, when PDP gets votes in the south, it is essentially Igbo votes. Okay?
And Yoruba
And
produced the first
South
PDP
votes
president.
as well.
Obasanjo.
Obasanjo was not.
And Igbos could not put the president under PDP.
Let's
And they
calm
put
down.
down PDP and Igbo
Igbo party.
Let's calm
Mr.
down.
Damola, I'm going
I'm going somewhere.
I'm going to
else.
negate what you said.
Please.
You know why?
Would you let me
It was
finish
until-
my thoughts?
Sorry, please,
Please.
please,
You
I'm
can go
sorry.
on.
You know I said that.
Please.
It was until Peter Obi, and that's another aspect of the Igbos
Please.
that, should be addressed and all that.
It has
It was-
nothing to do with
wait,
Peter
chill.
Obi.
It was until Peter Obi that Igbos were seen to be
Qualified enough.
involved in politics.
Yes.
It was until Peter Obi they went for voters card.
Yes.
So who has been voting PDP?
What will be voting for?
It's not PDP. It's
So has
PDP.
he- he has
How's he an Igbo party? Because in the
Igbo.
south,
Would you let me
south,
finish
south,
my
east,
thought?
southwest.
Okay, my thought.
Funsho Williams was going to be the next Lagos.
And most have voted for him.
And even Yorubas were going to vote
Vote
for
for
him.
him.
Why did they eliminate
Would
him?
you let me finish my
Please
thought
do.
pattern?
Alright.
I'm
Good.
sorry.
So by default,
Mm-hmm.
PDP in the south is tilts more or more like are populated more by Igbos. So in Lagos, in the south as a whole,
Okay.
in Lagos, when there's an election between APC and PDP, the general leaning of Igbos will be towards the PDP party or the candidate. Okay? Which is what has transcended up until now. Which is why I said it's not about to be. It's about not so many Igbos vote, but their general inclination is towards the PDP candidates. Okay? Now, when PDP, quote and unquote, snuffed themselves and LP, Labour Party, came on board, Mr. Man from GRV was on the platform of PDP before he decamped and came to Labour Party. Yeah? And they saw not just a viable candidate, but a kindred spirit. From
To you.
You're speaking for yourself because you're not
Exactly.
speaking for majority
So
of
hold
the
on.
population of
Because
Yoruba
your
people.
statistics
To you.
Because
I just said something
Let's
now.
say
You don't
that.
see
Let's read that.
50 seconds. Let me finish
Okay.
this. I just said something about Igbo's lean towards PDP candidates.
Okay.
Mr. PDP candidate ported
The
to
campaign.
the camp to Labour Party,
Mm.
and he has Igbo heritage.
That's
I don't know
right.
if you can piece the and plus, even before he started vying for a position, he had always leaned extremely towards his Igbo side more than the Yoruba side. Plus, politics has been fanning up tribal sentiments, and it's more like Yoruba versus Igbo. And then you see this guy who's obviously leans more towards an Igbo heritage. It's just natural for people to easily get swayed.
Okay, can I say
Don't get me wrong now. Swayed by that.
I will give you the
sentimental-
map of Igbo society now. Enugu governor is PDP, Ebonyi, APC, Abia, Labour, Imo, APC. The only state that has a PDP governor is in Enugu State.
You mean
Well, of course, wait, the Yoruba land, excuse me, Yoruba land today, the Oyo State governor is who? PDP. Why are you not telling me Makinde an Igbo sympathizer?
Okay, can I say
No,
something?
you are
I
getting it.
You are getting a PDP. Okay, can I say something?
Will you come
Don't
when
do it
you said
dispensations
PDP,
ago.
when you call PDP an Igbo party, and now you have a governor presiding over the most crucial state in Yoruba land under the PDP. That means he's an Igbo sympathizer, and luckily for him too, his wife is not Yoruba. His wife is Rivers.
There was no time I said
So
Yoruba
please,
don't
that direction
gravitate towards PDP. Don't get me wrong.
It should stop. It should stop. You know why? It is Yorubas that own PDP. Osun State governor is PDP. Oyo State governor is PDP. The only
I understand.
Wait, I'm coming. Wait. Obasanjo was the first PDP president. Don't ever campaign PDP and Igbo party. You are following history on its head.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. The
I'm
last
following
dispensation
history
before
on
this.
its head.
Okay.
Don't, because
Twenty-
now in the southwest you have two PDP governors. Southeast has
You're
only
talking of
one.
now. Before now, because we didn't start today now.
But what is today?
How about before now?
Yeah,
We didn't start
Yorubas have more ownership of PDP.
You're sitting down
than
with
PDP.
PDP. How did the question is how did we get here? Two dispensations ago, almost every southeast state had a PDP government.
Where
Yes,
There
or
was
no?
Abga in the east.
Come on.
Yes, there was, but I said almost every southeast state
So
had a PDP government.
this is where I'll say something. Right?
Okay.
I'm very deliberate with politics and dealing with numbers. When people make statements of as though it is factual, of this group of people support this group of people. I like to know where your data is coming from. Is it like a census thing, or was there like a measurement for these things? I think that's where he comes in and he brings. Okay, if you say that, how is this correlating with what
And
you're
his point
saying?
is valid for now.
I'm not promising.
Like
I said for now, his point is valid. I agree.
so
I agree
I'm
to that.
going somewhere.
I work with data.
Yeah, so why I'm saying what I'm saying.
They're telling me something and it's not reflected on the ground.
Exactly.
I would tell you.
Today, I'm saying we didn't start
Yeah.
No.
today.
So you tell me what I said today now.
Okay, so this
It
is
was on the ground. So what I'm telling you.
what I'm trying to
It's
get
just
at,
sentiment.
right, is that data, I don't have all the data. There's too many data for us to
Please.
cram into exactly. We did not, it takes a while. We did not, we cannot walk out of something we behaved ourselves into. Do you understand?
Okay. Yes.
You get what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah, you give yourself.
we get ourselves into this
Yes.
thing over the years. It's not ones that we
Yes,
start
jump into it.
accumulating everything. This thing took years. In just 2 hours, we can't fix up all the details and
No.
everything to discuss. But from the conversation, the topic itself, where is this tribalism from? I would like to touch on something that is almost not in relation to Nigeria. Mandela.
Okay.
And also the Rwandan people. They dealt with tribalism, the Tutsi and the Hutsis.
Yeah.
Right?
What I see in Rwanda today, what they have to do
Yeah.
is temporary peace.
Temporary peace. Do you
Just
understand?
explode.
Even at that, even at
Big
that,
explosion.
Just explode.
yes, even at that, but even at that, it comes down to intention
Yes.
of the leader that is
Yeah.
there.
Mm.
He mentioned something. You can either intention goes two ways: use it for good or use
Or
it
you
for
go
bad.
back.
So the intention of a leadership would either make or mar the country. Either way, Nigeria is a diverse country. If it goes for good, I mean, this country will blossom beyond what we can ever imagine, because the Igbos have a specific gift. The Yorubas, they have a specific. We all have. We'll try on all of those.
What
things.
to talk
Where we are weak.
weak.
Where the Yorubas are weak, the Igbos are strong. When the Yorubas are strong, the Igbos are weak.
Yes.
And just vice versa.
That was a beautiful country.
Mandela said something. Mandela was in jail for 20-something years because there was some level of, their own is not tribalism, it's called racism, but it's the same
Apartheid.
issue. Apartheid. The tribe, we go, you go.
Well,
Exactly.
Wait.
Said there are only two kinds of people: wise people and foolish people. Wise people do wise things and get wise results. Foolish people do foolish things and get foolish results. So back to this thing, I would say the trace of it. I know it might be a little bit off of what we're talking about, because we're dealing with the details of our experience and history that we know. the core of this thing is intention. Someone wants to use this intention for greed gain, and the other one sees it as, oh, we will make a United States of America and we will thrive as an economy, living by these rules such that it will favor every tribe.
Come on, who is this other one? Who is this other one?
United States of America.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you understand? That's their intention.
Yeah.
Of course, every advantage has a disadvantage. Some fights will come up, some things will come up, and all of that. But in Nigeria, that hasn't been the case for a while. Back to your point where you said the inherent thinking of the African man is tribalistic,
yeah.
Which I don't agree with, because if you take it on a biological level, drop a baby, newborn baby with Bill Gates, and drop Bill Gates baby with an African, he will grow up with the African mentality.
Wow.
The other one will grow up with the Bill Gates mentality.
Wow.
Also,
we're saying the same thing.
Yeah, there's this video of this boy. I was discussing with my we call this thing. Yeah, we call this thing VPN glitch. The boy it looks American, but if you close your eyes, you think it's a Chinese guy talking. So it's really just the mindset. Exactly. Yeah. So back to the intention. I think this tribal problem is an intention problem.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah.
And I think
Intention problem.
the question we should be asking
I'm going to say something.
Okay,
You know, when he was comparing United States of America to what we have here, you know, even in the United States of America, they are different.
Yeah, they are African Americans,
Italian,
Spanish.
Even among white
yes, we actually can.
Yes.
The
Okay,
truth
can I
is we
go
can't
to
really.
you know what I had to say? I wrote something down. One of our problems in Nigeria is lack of national identity. Weak national cohesion.
I will disagree with you.
Before you disagree.
I'll disagree with that in the sense is this. I pride myself, I don't know whether
Okay.
I like my Igbo-ness, I like the values I have. I have a lot of disagreements with certain things in my culture. I don't like. And I express it.
That means you're objective also.
I try my best to be, you know why? It is the rationality that will make society grow. My dad, I learned a lot. I've not seen a man like my father. I've not seen a person like my father. I've not seen a man like my father before. A village boy who came out to Lagos and did well and make sure they don't know what tribe is. I respect him. However, in our engagements, no tribe has the monopoly of goodness. No tribe has the monopoly of evil. Everywhere you see. But what I do not like is when people consciously, because they have this bias or prejudice, they try to pigeonhole an ethnic group.
Yeah.
There was a derogatory statement that happened in Kenya. The first president of Kenya.
That's what I just said. When you have a strong sense of ethnic identity, my ethnicity, my tribe is better than
No, I'm not, my tribe is not better than yours. My tribe is that I like my tribe, but I respect your own too.
Yeah, but
that's you.
That's
just your own personal.
Because of tribalism in that context. In this context of
Excuse me,
ethnicity.
like, I'm not a Yoruba woman. There are so many things she will tell me. I say, I won't do this. It's against my culture. I said things too, she will tell me. I think I say, okay, this is what people want. They're having a party, okay, I will take part. Nobody my people don't do it. But to make you happy, I will do it. It's a balancing thing. I cannot have my way all the time. The marriage will fail. She cannot have her way all the time. It is give and take.
If you were married to a Yoruba woman and you felt your tribe was superior to hers, there's nothing she will tell you that you bent for.
But that's something I'm going to tell you that I'm not going to say. I'm not meant to say it, but I'll say
Okay.
it. In my constant relationship with different women in Nigeria, Yoruba women are the most loving.
That is your opinion. Just hold your tongue so you can ask your question.
They are the most loving. I'm saying it here on camera.
Okay.
Yeah. They are the only woman that you can chase as a poor man and she will look at you and say, okay, I'll give him a chance.
Well,
I'm telling the truth.
I totally
Yeah, the Igbo man is lost.
I totally disagree with you.
Let's not get into that.
Totally disagree.
We are eating a veggie soup. He has gone.
Sorry, bring us back on.
Sorry, let me. So my question is on
Okay.
you're talking about marriage and all of that.
Yeah.
You're talking about your values as an Igbo man, her values as a Yoruba woman. They said everything starts from the home.
Yes, I agree.
So you would agree that a home is where an empire actually starts from.
Yes.
A home is where it's
Who also start from the home.
everybody here, we came from one home.
Yeah.
Adam and Eve,
Yeah.
right? So does that not mean that every family, the concept of family, means we should have our own values, our own culture that we will develop over the years? yes, we can bring in our Igbo culture and Yoruba culture to make this culture, but we'll have a culture as a family, right?
It's like a universal
culture for this family, rather than now identifying in most cases I am Igbo and Yoruba.
Now, before you answer, my question is the same it's aligned with this question. What I was going to ask is, I think the question is not so much of how did you get here, rather it is can we move away from, which is somewhat aligned to your question.
Yeah.
So over
now,
to answer.
I'll tell you something I used to do on Idel Kabir. Some people call it Idel Adha. When the Muslims slaughter ram. I grew up in Sweden whereby my neighbors bring ram meat. And I was not living in the house whereby I didn't have a lot of Muslim neighbors. So I can have that taste of I'll go and buy ram, small ram. On that day too I will slaughter. My wife will fry. My children will eat. Let me have that taste of how I grew up. So these are things that I brought from another culture into my home. So see, man is not, culture is made for man, not man made for. See, when a culture is not working, you tweak it. The Igbos have a saying that Aruba for Yahoo Amenaba. When a sacrilege is committed and it is not addressed within a year, it becomes part of the culture. So my ancestors in their bush, in their forest, wearing grass, made this law. Today I'm with phone. I look at the law, that I look at it.
It doesn't correlate.
Straight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They will expect me when they have to throw it away. It's not practical today.
No.
They made that law because it was practical in their forest dwelling.
Someone said tradition is peer pressure.
Yes.
So I agree with this your position, and it's where every individual should speak up. Unfortunately, that is not what most individuals are like. So as a community, as a people, how can we? Because not everybody will.
I think that's what we're doing. You just called podcasts. Why we're having.
So the question is, as a suggestion, what kind of things can we as people do?
You know, in the corporate world, we still have incidences where 5 people apply for a job. These 5 people are very qualified. There's the Igbo man, there's the Idoma man, there's the Yoruba Hausa, and the Delta man. But because maybe the HR or the CEO is from the north, he says, oh, is this Idoma man? Call him. And whereas the guy from Delta is more qualified than the guy from Idoma. So now, just like what he said and he asked, how can we get to the point where we move away from this? Because last year we had elections in Nigeria, and you were talking about the states governed by PDP and APC. Even the so-called PDP states, they had election violence in the east, in the south, in the west, in the north. There were some people that couldn't even vote at their polling units because they were Omoibos.
Somebody somewhere is watching this, playing their game, sharing money with them, looking at the damage being done in society, and one day they would foolishly give him power and dismantle the system. But heads will roll.
That would be nice if such were to
No, that is nature. I'm not trying to tell you a prophetic statement.
I said if
that is the way nature happens.
If such were to happen,
that's how nature happens.
Do you know there's a challenge I have. I've seen young people. See, the problem with Nigeria is not so much about those in power who are decadent and who are corrupt and this. Do you know what Nigeria's main problem is? Is that there are so many other young people queued up, waiting to get there to come and do their own worse off than what is going on.
I would say that.
See, they don't get there. No,
I don't think it's fair to think that the young
excuse me.
I can tell you that.
See, there's this Swahili proverb that says that a village cannot finish the meat of an elephant.
Thank you.
That is why it does.
If you ask a typical young Nigerian, if you get what would you do? This is the response you get. And this is, they might not say
the response he said is, I will embezzle. No, but guess what?
That's the
guess what? I addressed
this young DJ.
I said, okay, this, and we talked about.
Thank God they met you.
But that's the case. That's the case of what's going to happen. There are many people like that. Do you understand? And it's actually happening because of social media.
That's inspiring to know.
Yeah.
That's inspiring to know.
You know, back in the days,
and they will influence their friends.
Back in the days, I'm glad we have Draco here that is married to a woman from a very different tribe.
From Abeokuta.
Good.
Ikoroshedeke.
Because I know a lot of parents would have told their children, oh, don't marry from this tribe, don't marry from that tribe. But you can see that currently the trend in Nigeria is very different.
Our generation, Abi?
With our generation, it's very, very different.
See, I'm not sure with you.
I do not.
Gen Z.
Nobody, right now, what it takes is, can you do it or not? Once you can do it, that's all that matters.
Okay,
And I believe that if we continue with this momentum, Nigeria can actually get to the point where we truly have that one Nigeria. Being an Igbo man, being an Igbo woman doesn't matter. Being a Yoruba man, being an Idoma man would not matter. It would just be, oh, you can do this and you are the right person for the job. So whatever sentiments you have regarding tribe, regarding culture, I feel like it is not necessary, and we should embrace each other, every tribe, with openness, because we are one Nigeria. Thank you for joining us on the podcast. We'll see you